back to Samsung.
In the same matte black color, I now have here the Phantom Black Galaxy S22 Ultra, and I have the pink gold Galaxy S22 Plus. Which do you want to talk about first?
I mean, I know you want to talk about pink first, so let's do it.
All right, pink S22 Plus.
Oh, wait.
Pink
I just
gold.
noticed something.
I haven't taken the plastic off.
Can I?
On the mic, if you put it like right next to it.
This is big for me.
I already took the plastic off.
This is
of
like
the
getting
Ultra.
a promotion. Like
Easy
okay,
now.
Sorry. I'm not gonna get to do this very often, but I'm gonna do my own public plastic peel. I just want to say that was pretty good.
That was a good one.
I'm a
was a good
natural.
So that's the first time that phone's ever been fully brand new, although I think there's some plastic on the bottom too. But sure, let's talk about S22 and S22 Plus
Let's just do
first.
regular first.
So these phones are straight from the design of the S21 with a few small changes really. New specs being Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 or a 4nm Exynos chip, depends on the region you're in, but we have the Snapdragon one here. Basically the same dimensions, but slightly smaller. So we went from a 6.2 to a 6.1 inch display on the smaller phone, and I think a 6.7 to a 6.6 inch display on this bigger one you're holding.
Funny
and
enough,
then,
this feels bigger.
does it feel bigger
I
or
don't know.
heavier?
I think the general sense of feeling of it feels bigger.
Interesting.
While it might be smaller, I feel like the thickness is a bit thicker. Since it's like flat edges and just kind of flat all around it. I mean, it's got a small curve on the side. I don't know. This feels bigger in my hand.
Okay. Then, well, what are you comparing it to? By
The
the way?
the S21 Plus.
Okay. Yeah. No, it is definitely. So the couple things I noticed. Number one, I really love the back. It's got this like satin. Even though I wouldn't get pink, whatever, it is a satin finish on the back, and it is slightly more squared off. And I like that about it.
I think that's what makes it feel like thicker almost. And I would like to see the green really bad because I think the green probably looks really nice. I dig green. I have also noticed while the S22 and 22 Plus keep this kind of like similar camera bump, it's not completely flush with the corner.
Right.
Like the old one. It has like this little lip there, which isn't that big of a deal. I still like the design. I was kind of saying when we first saw this that this almost looks like an early CAD rendering of the S21 before they put finishing touches on it, like really smoothed out.
Because it's boxier.
Because it's boxier. It just feels like, hey, let's do a quick mock-up. This is the like really squared off version of it. That's not like all the minute details in the design. And
I can see that.
But I like it better, which is also weird that I think it looks less finished, but I like it better.
I do like it better also. So it's also a couple other small things about it. One, the back is metal, not plastic.
The back?
Yep. Oh, sorry. The back is glass, not plastic.
Okay, yeah. I was like,
the rails are still metal, but the back was glasstic on the S21 and S21 Plus. This is actually glass, so that's cool.
It does feel better.
A little bit more dense, a little bit. I think it's actually the same weight despite being smaller, so it's a little more dense.
Okay.
And then the other thing is the battery is actually smaller. So this is something we were noting. We were watching the presentation, and you noted that there's like a big difference between the big phone and the small phone battery size. Both of them did get 300 milliamp hours smaller. This one is. The big one I'm holding is now, it's a 4,500 milliamp hour battery, down from 4,800. And the small one went from 4,000 to 3,700. So I'm interested in seeing how the battery life holds up because the one other small change is the display is now an adaptive refresh rate from 10 to 120 hertz. Notably, I asked Samsung if it's an LTPO display, and they said no. The LTPO display on the Ultra goes from 1 to 120 hertz. This is just an adaptive refresh rate display from 10 to 120 hertz. Not sure if that's going to be more efficient than before, if it's going to make up for the smaller battery. I have yet to actually answer that.
Considering Samsung's told us almost nothing, we can't make that much of an assumption
No
yet.
idea.
Hopefully, like when we're going through the review a little deeper, maybe they'll give us some better information.
I mean,
but
this is like hour 3 holding the phones. Like we had the first hands-on experience.
I just peeled the plastic off. So
Exactly.
yeah, we haven't gotten very far on these yet. But I really dig how this looks. I think Samsung's killing it lately. Again, I don't love the pink color or the bronze, whatever aren't they calling it like pink bronze?
This is pink gold.
Pink gold.
Yeah. And I think the Ultra has like a bronze color.
Better than when Apple went rose gold and turned it into a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
So we're there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to see the green really bad. Let's swap over.
To the Ultra?
the Note S. I think you made that joke already, so it's probably not that funny.
S22 Ultra.
Ooh.
So we got a bunch of new things with the S22 Ultra. Number one, camera bump. Here's the S21 Ultra that I loved so much. Gone, now just the rings. The rumors are true. It does have that slightly new design. You can see that in the hands-on video. I don't really love or hate it. I think
just
it's
thought of
meh.
something, though.
Okay.
Looking at these up next to each other, because this is going the more Note route,
Square.
which is like the totally flat edge, I don't think they would have been able to round it as nicely with the rounded edge on top of this. So do you think that's why they eliminated the bump completely?
Well, I think they eliminated the bump because they made a Note.
Oh, yeah.
But
I thought they could still like keep it. It's weird to have a lineup of 3 phones where one of them
has a different
looks very different,
design.
like the camera bump. Yeah.
So I'll just jump right into that then. So this phone is a stylus built in just like a Samsung Galaxy Note. This phone has a top, flat, and bottom just like a Samsung Galaxy Note. And this phone has the curved sides and all of the dimensions that a Samsung Galaxy Note would have. So my running theory, almost sarcastically, but also like kind of seriously a little bit, is I think Samsung just made a Samsung Galaxy Note 22 Ultra and then just called it a Galaxy S22 Ultra and slotted it in at the top. It looks different because it is different, but it has all the same spec upgrades. It still has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery despite adding an S Pen inside. That's really impressive. Same Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. Baseline spec has 8 gigs of RAM. All of the higher specs, all the way up to 1 terabyte of storage, have 12 gigs of RAM, so that's pretty sweet. Although, they had a 16 gig RAM version last time. I don't know if you knew that. So they don't have that anymore. But some new cameras, some new stuff to check out from me. But the new display is 1750 nits peak brightness, which is amazing. Can't wait to use that outside. It was already really good, but this is even better.
Funnily enough, I know a while ago, I mean, we're talking, it might be 2 years by now, but when it was probably just last year. We were wondering if there was going to be a Note series, then there wasn't. Then we were wondering if the Note was dead. And we kind of thought that either the Note will come back or the S22 will have an S Pen. While we said that, and while that's technically what happened, this is not what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting to literally just release a new Note, call it an S22. I was expecting more of an upgrade to the actual S22,
right?
With like the old rounded edges, the old top, and everything like that. This is literally just a new Note,
right?
And I love it.
Yeah,
I love that they did that.
I think it's fascinating. So now I just want to say all the starting prices: $799 for the S22, $999 for the S22 Plus, pretty premium, and then $1199 starting for the S22 Ultra. There's going to be a lot of users that grab the S22 Ultra because it's the highest end one and are just going to get an S Pen. I guess they just never use it. They just never take it out of the phone, never care about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess I have a couple thoughts. First of all, I already have friends texting me about this, and one thing I always forget when this happens is Samsung's trade-in program is phenomenal. Like, I have a friend who's about to get an S22 Ultra, and he's getting it for like
$50 or something.
It's like just under $900 with turning in like an S10 something, which is just impressive. Like,
wait, they're turning in an S10 and getting
the S22 Ultra for like $900.
Oh, so they get $300 off. That's good.
Solid. A 3-year-old phone doing that. That's awesome. My other thing is, I agree with you. I think there's going to be a lot of people who get this because it's the bleeding edge top of the line phone and don't care about the S Pen. If this is the only Note from now on from Samsung, I would love for them to do an A series with an S Pen or something smaller, because every time we talk about the stylus, we get so many people saying that they do enjoy the stylus, but they don't need this bleeding edge, top of the line, 4 cameras, 100 times zoom, like stuff like that. They just use it every day. Yeah. There is stuff out there like the Moto G stylus that maybe works that, but like,
that's one of the most surprising things about Samsung to me is they seem to be perfectly willing to make a bunch of different phones. Yeah. Like, we just got the S21 FE right before these. They make a ton of different various phones at different price ranges and different features. I am surprised that the only way that they offer an S Pen is in a phone that starts at $1,199.
I feel like they would kill like $500 with an S Pen.
And you mentioned Motorola. Like, there's other companies that are doing cheaper phones with S Pens, Moto G stylus. But like, what if Samsung did like an A52 type thing, but the same convenience factors. Maybe it's not extremely fast. Maybe the response rate isn't quite the same. But like the general convenience of like marking up a PDF or like circling things on a diagram if you're an architect, like all that stuff still applies. And the phone is $599 instead of $1299. That I'm surprised they don't do that.
I feel like that would sell it's a niche, obviously, but I do think it would do very well for like we've mentioned before, landscapers, contractors, architects, anything like that, doing stuff out in the field. I think it would be awesome.
The only thing that maybe strikes me as an answer is maybe Samsung is doing the math on realizing not that many people use the S Pen. Yeah. And that's why they killed the Note in the first place. And they still like have the development and R&D to offer an S Pen, and the style and the tablets, by the way, have great S Pen integrations too.
True.
But turns out people don't really have that much of a use case, or not that many people use the S Pen on the phone. Maybe that's the reason.
It's probably the reason.
So, yeah, this is what we get now.
The same reason Pixel 4 didn't have an ultra-wide camera, but it doesn't mean I like the reason for it.
Doesn't mean it's the right answer.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm starting to test the phone now. So this is, it's basically just going to one-to-one replace my Galaxy S21 Ultra. We'll see. I think I'm going to like it, and I honestly don't suspect I'm going to find too much wrong with it. I need to test the software and the battery and the cameras, of course. I've already started taking 8K videos of Mac. It still did the weird punch-in. That was actually something I already found that was weird. I'm going to turn on location. When I hit video mode, look how much it punches in.
Oh.
It punches into like 3x, even though I thought I would still be using the primary camera, but I guess not. So I need to figure that part out.
We'll try and figure it out.
But, you know, who's even shooting 8K video?
That's always the biggest bummer is when you like, and this is just for all phones, but like you set up a shot and then you realize you're not in video mode yet and you want to do it on video, and then you click it and then you're like, oh man, I'm not framed at all for this correctly. And then maybe your back's up against something already and you realize now you can't take video of it. Or maybe you just still have a Pixel 4 and still don't have an ultra wide camera, and you're definitely not salty about that at all.
Yeah, no, that's something I'll play with. But the bottom line is we'll be testing these. The reviews are coming in the next 1 to 2 weeks per usual. Let me know in the comments whether this is the clip or the full episode, what you want to see in that review. That always helps me. But yeah, also check out the full impressions videos if you just want to know my first thoughts from the first hour with it. Do you think you want to get one of these phones? That's my last question.
Honestly, I think I want to just get like an S21 Ultra for way cheaper.
Really good phone.
I think that like I highly doubt like that would be the ending of this video, is like recommending an S21 Ultra. But if it's so close to it, if you really like the design of the S21 Ultra, which I think a lot of people prefer how this looks, especially on the back.
Yeah. So here's my only like counter to that.
I do love the Note style of this. If I'm being honest.
Style, it's a 1 year newer phone, which means 1 extra year of guaranteed software support. It's also going to be just, slightly better spec, those types of things. If you can get a good trade-in, like you mentioned, their program's pretty good. Like I would, the thing, like people always, I guess this is so tired for me on Twitter because I see it every time I talk about a phone, but everyone's like, this isn't a good upgrade from last year's phone. No. Of course it's not. Yeah. That's just like the new Kia Forte is not a great upgrade from last year's Kia Forte. Of course it's not. But for people who have older phones, for people who have 2017, 2018 phones, this represents the best available. So if you do really strongly prefer the design that much, yeah, you'll be able to find a discount on S21.
Or if you want to spend mid-range prices on last year's flagship.
If you find a good discount, I'll say it this way, just from my first experience now, if you find a good discount on S21 Ultra, I have no problem recommending that phone despite 1 less year of guaranteed software updates. But I have a feeling this is going to be a very similar, very good phone.
I do. Also, I don't know how we didn't say this. I think we got sidetracked, but like we talked about that camera bump and how this is like singular lenses on the S22 Ultra.
Yeah.
I hated it at first, but I think that's just because that's how good the S21 Ultra looked. I think this looks fine. Actually, black, I think this looks really sick.
Yeah.
The more I'm looking at it. Cases are going to be kind of interesting. I don't know. I'm starting to really dig the singular lenses.
See how fast it grows on you? See how fast that happens? One day.
Yeah.
All right. Andrew, what are you doing? Got to do the clips outro.
Oh, I was just doing really bad at Wordle today. It was a rough one.
I'm thinking of a 9-letter word.
I only know 5-letter words now.
Oh, sorry. Well, it's
Waveform.
Subscribe.
Oh.
Waveform is...
I told you.
This is why you're doing so bad at Wordle.
Yeah.
You should hit the subscribe button. Yeah, 9 letters.
Nice.
Wanted to double check. Subscribe.
Perfect. and like.